Welcome to Sales Bytes by Journey, where we talk about everything you need to know to be a killer at sales. I'm your host, Will Jenkins. Let's get it. Welcome to Sales Bytes by Journey. Today we have Abby Hafenbredl, Account Development Manager at Lean Solutions Group. Abby, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Will. I am a huge fan.
Thank you.
Of
I
course.
appreciate that. Big fan as well. So it's been
you.
really cool to watch your career from afar and then get a chance to know you. And I would love if you could give the listeners a quick 10,000 foot view of what your career journey has been like in freight and transportation.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in freight on accident, as most of us do, kind of just fell into it in 2015. So I've been in it up until this past January. So what is that? 9 years. I started at Cavalry Logistics, started in inside sales, moved up to outside sales. I was there for 6 years and I oversaw most of our national accounts at a high level. After that, we merged with Universal. I went over to RTI as a director of sales. Shortly after that, we were bought out by Fitzmark. And when that happened, I decided to go with the executive leadership team from Cavalry Logistics, and we started Sage Freight. So I was employee number 7. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I helped grow them the past 2 years. We got to 150 million in revenue, profitable. We set up offshore operations in Pakistan. So I was involved in a lot of that, a lot of our social media branding, and website design was all under me at some point. So a lot of experience in the freight world for sure. And now it's all kind of led into where I'm at with Lean. So at Lean, I'm coming in as a transportation consultant for a lot of our VIP clients, helping to dive into their operations and find opportunities to cut costs and outsource or nearshore to our Colombia, Mexico, Philippines operations. So it's been awesome. I get to keep my network, but I'm out of freight. It's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you spent close to a decade developing the sales acumen that you have, selling to large shippers and navigating sales cycles and things of that nature. And now you get to use that to help other transportation organizations set up the right teams to build and grow. So it's really cool and a pleasure to have you on today. We're going to dig into some video outreach tips for sales. So I think video is a really unique way to reach out to your prospects. And it's probably not very common that they're getting a ton of video content from people. So how has that worked for you, or any tidbits about how to use video sales as a tool?
I definitely say you have to do it the right way, because you don't want to send a video and be flagged and be put into junk mail. So it's really important that you have a platform that can easily integrate into your email. There's a bunch out there. I've used like CoVideo, Vidyard, a couple of those. I think LinkedIn even has an option. But when I send out videos, I first will reach out via email and then let them know, hey, I know, just be a human. I know you probably get a ton of these emails. So the next one is going to be a video, just prep them for what they're about to receive. And then when you send a video, I don't have it. I have this little white erase board, and I actually learned this trick from Anthony Bova, where you write their name, right? So if it's like Will, it'd be like Will. And then the video will be like, hey, Will, So then they know it's like, okay, this video is for me. I'm going to open it to see what the heck someone made me a video. What?
Yeah.
Because that's I think the whole part is getting to that point where they feel comfortable opening a video in an email with all the spam and stuff going on.
There's a lot of noise. You're cutting through the noise. There's so much noise and competition.
So it gives you, again, once they have your video and they have your attention, it gives you, again, that personal element. They can see you're a real person. You're just wanting to get their individual attention. You're putting the effort into making this video just for this prospect. So it adds a lot of value before you even have a conversation with this person. And then it kind of, again, it drops their walls a little bit for that next convo, because now they know I'm not this stiff car salesman that's like gonna put them in a Shark Tank. It's like, oh, Abby seems pretty nice. Like she did all this. I might as well get on a call with her. Totally. It just opens up that initial door so easily.
I like it.
Yeah. And again, that the whiteboard I think is a key too, because then they can kind of see, there's you can set it for a little GIF when you put it in the email. So it can show like, hey, or you can even write, I'm not a bot, or like,
that's amazing.
Whatever you want to do, make it funny, make it like, how many video solicitations have you gotten today? Yeah. Well, here's your first one, make it fun, because these guys are just like you and I, they want to be sold the way we want to be sold, which is not sold.
It's funny is like a lot of times I think you can start to disassociate just being a person with sales, because it can be stressful, or it's hard, or you got some rejections and it was like, oh my gosh, this is tough. Like these people are mean, right? And then when you start to really get into it, you're like, I'm just talking to people. Talking to people, and some are easier to talk to than others, and some are more challenging, right? But when you do something like a creative video and you change the perspective, and they're like, oh shoot, I've never seen that before. Or this person really did their homework. Like what they said to me was tailored to me, made a lot of sense. You're cutting through the 150 other absolute trash emails they got. And they're like, okay, I want to talk to Abby. Like this makes sense.
Exactly. I don't want to give away all my nuggets, but another thing, when it's just coming from a freight side, when I was cold calling, warehouse knocking, door to door recently, like in the past couple of years, that's also huge. You could do it on your phone and just do a video. Hey, I'm here at your warehouse. Throw that into the email. Like, are you kidding me? Do you know how few people are doing that these days? Not many.
I love that.
Yeah. It just adds that extra layer of, wow, they cared and they went above and beyond to get my attention. And that's most of the time it's going to be worth at least an intro call.
Absolutely. You have to figure out a way to stand out. And especially in a market like this, when you're competing against a lot of other people, you need to figure out a way to get people to pay attention to you. So that's huge. Yeah. Awesome. Any fun examples of clients that you've sold and converted, and maybe one of your first outreach attempts was via video?
Okay, this isn't like it wasn't like a typical video due for an outreach, but I did send a video to, should I say the name?
You can hold it. You can hold it. Yeah.
A large sports drink company, right? And we were chugging. I basically just went to the store, grabbed about 20 of these, made everybody in my office chug this. We recorded it. And then I came on, I was like, hey, you didn't meet me at Food Shippers, so here's a video of us chugging your product. And that was it. And he was like, all right, we'll set up an onboarding call tomorrow.
That's amazing.
That's a thing though. It's like, be fun, be different, be unique. Stop going with your company's stupid, you have to call 50 people a day KPIs. Those aren't how sales is done anymore. I still believe in cold calls, don't get me wrong, but quality over quantity by far.
All day. I was on a call with a client the other day just talking about general sales strategy, and you got to strike the right in between with volume of outreach, whether it's email, phone call, video, but also quality of client you're selling to. So they are your ideal customer. They spend, they have enough volume. They're going to listen eventually, right? They're doing this now. And they're the type of customer that you think you can build around, right? So spray and pray, 100, 150 emails or calls or even videos. Like if you're not selling to the right people, it doesn't even matter. So you got to strike that quality metric so that your outreach even makes sense. but I'll go to my grave saying cold calling still alive. I'm a big fan, but you got to call the right people and have the right message.
Yeah. And you have to be the right person to call. Because I will say, no offense to some of these newer, younger kids, but they just aren't as used to being on the phone. And so it's so intimidating for a lot of people. So it's like, oh, maybe you should stay off the phone. Just for some people.
Yes. So it's funny. I don't want to go too far off topic, but we'll drop this and then come back to video. You made a mention there that it's got to be the right person sometimes. I think you're super right, because my sales style might not resonate with the contact that onboards carriers. And I might give it to Abby, and Abby has a completely different sales style. And a month or two down the line, contract signed, they're ready to rock. I've seen that so many times. So don't take it personal, right? Like, it's not always a you thing. It just might be the way you sell isn't conducive to the way they like to be sold to, and someone else might be more effective. So don't take that personally if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's also so important to do a combination of everything. If you're only cold calling, like, your prospect's probably just going to mute you and never answer. But it's like, maybe, you have to understand what they also like. Like, maybe this person never answers their phone. Well, if all you're doing is cold calling, that's not going to get much. So, like, having the, cold calling, emailing, marketing, video, having all those things, and then reaching out when they're at a conference, and then all those things combined together, it's almost like, man, how do they not give us a shot after those approaches? Because at some point, like, the conversation will happen.
Totally. A lot of times it's more when, not if. Freight, kind of a revolving door of where opportunities go. So someone lost the opportunity and now you get a chance to quote it. You're added to the RFP. You get a chance to win, but you need to be relevant. And so, as you mentioned, some people never answer the phone. Some people don't like emails. Some people are active on LinkedIn. Some people don't do any of that. You're only going to catch them at a conference. Like, you got to be able to use all the tools, but video outreach, I think, is extremely underutilized. I've seen reps do the same thing that you did. Send a funny video with the product, drinking the product, or at the grocery store, and before you know it, a contract is signed. So I think it's a creative way.
Yeah. Or sending pictures. Like, I would always send pictures of my dogs to any pet related anything. It's obviously they love animals if they work for a pet company. So, like, use things that you can find out about them, not against their selling, will or whatever, but find similarities, like locations, sports, anything like that can be used. Company history, whatever you might find.
Totally. Well, I appreciate you giving some good insight on video outreach. And I love the example of getting the team to all drink some of the beverage and shoot it over to the contact you were selling to, because obviously it converted. Any closing thoughts on video outreach or anything like that for people that maybe have never done it and they're going to pick it up now that they've heard that it's effective?
I would definitely say, if you're uncomfortable, start with a script, just an easy script. Hey, my name is so-and-so. I just want to introduce myself in person to make it a little more personable, because I know you're getting so many emails. Would love to set up a call. Here, here's my information. Simple is better when you're not comfortable. Once you get comfortable, you can start, giving specific, like, hey, I see you have a warehouse here, and, talk a little operations on the call so they have an understanding of, oh, she knows what she's talking about, and she knows she did her research. So I think just prepare, and if you're worried, have a script, because I think most of them you can throw a script on there and play it while it's recording, so it'll help you feel comfortable.
That's really good information, Abby. I appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit about video outreach. So thank you for the sales bites, all the good info, and I look forward to following you more and learning. So we'd love to have you back on at some point. Thank you very much.
Awesome. It was great to be here. Thank you.